So now I think we've gone over internals, we've gone over kind of common workflows to internalize as a developer or a knowledge worker doing technical work. Then I think we could now jump into some of those, the elements or the primitives in that ecosystem. So as sort of a first pass, we'll cover the introduction level capabilities to give you a solid foundation and some intuition. And then we'll move on to slightly more advanced tools. But I'd say these three are really basic things that are great to know that kind of are worth talking about for a moment before we go into the larger ecosystem. And I'll also go into each of these in more detail. In general, CLAUDE.md can be thought of as persistent context or information in various levels, depending on file's location. Generally speaking, CLAUDE.md files help Claude understand and know valuable context, so emphasis on the know part. MCP tools make adding new tools or data connections, typically from external systems that Claude can use, much easier. So MCP tools usually give Claude more abilities or integrations to external systems and allow Claude to do or execute things. Many people talk about an analogy that MCP is like a USB port. For anyone doing development for a long time, probably familiar with an adapter pattern. It's simply a standard interface to not have to rebuild that interface for each new tool that Claude interacts with. So I can use the conventions of that protocol to connect to a really wide variety of external systems or tools and really make Claude much more powerful than typically by default. And then lastly, slash commands are maybe one of the most simple ways to automate routines that you repeat often, like making Git commits or updating documentation. Commands and skills, which are very closely related, often provide the how to do things. They're essentially save prompts or can prompts stored as markdown files. So here already you start kind of seeing, or maybe you're starting to form the mental map of know and do, and the instructions on how to do. So you're seeing how you're kind of starting to equip the agent with different capabilities that will help it reach the objectives that you're looking to accomplish. So this ecosystem is much, much larger. This is Anthropic's slide from a few months ago. They're moving so fast and releasing so many features that I think this would probably be about 40% longer at this point from all of the new releases that they've had. But to just kind of skim over this, we went over CLAUDE.md, we went over custom slash commands and MCP tools. Steals are very similar to slash commands, but load slightly differently and often run in your conversation automatically. So they can be triggered explicitly or implicitly. Yes, you're welcome to take photographs, anything that seems useful. Whereas commands are only invoked explicitly, usually. So that's a key difference of skills. And another, I'll go into this more later, skills are also more portable in that they are easy to import into things like Claude Desktop. It will work in either Claude Code or Claude Desktop. Hooks like lifecycle methods in JavaScript or mobile programming can be set to run based on specific triggers or events and are a great way to automate processes or enforce standards. So this is, aside from prompt engineering, one of the first directions I started looking in. If someone is saying, I'm not getting deterministic output, I mean more regularity, trustworthiness from an LLM, hooks are a great kind of insurance policy for some of that. Plugins bundle all of the above mentioned primitives, including subagents and additional things that I did mention, into easy to manage marketplaces. So they make installing and uninstalling large amounts of tooling much more convenient and easy. And then finally, there are a few different kinds of agents. Here you'll see subagents, which are very analogous if you encountered the task tool or plan and explore tools. Those are actually subagents. They're just built into Claude. But some of the main advantages of subagents are that they run in their own isolated context. So if you are managing a longer, let's say, session and you want to conserve your token usage, then subagents are an incredibly effective way to parcel away work and conserve that main thread and only get the results back. So something like the Explorer subagent is incredibly effective because it'll go traverse all kinds of different files, review them, and then return only a condensed summary of what you're looking for and not consume all of that main thread's context. There's a lot of other stuff on here, and I won't advantage in the time we have to touch on all of it, but we'll go into more depth in a few of these. So hopefully that kind of starts giving you an overview of the Claude Code basic ecosystem and all of things that you have at your disposal to build